it's a big topic, with people that say that everybody knows, like you mentioned earlier, that Death Row was the first to do the chains. Obviously, it became more mainstream and kind of in everybody's eyes when Tupac came. From what you remember, because Tupac definitely wasn't the first one to get the Death Row medallion, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
He was one of the first, to be honest. He was out of jail when he was on Death Row when the chains were distributed.
Okay. Do you remember whose idea?
Individual chains then. I remember Raid had some with Afro Puff on it. I remember Snoop had a chain with a dog bone and stuff like that. The shit was always big on buying artist jewelry and stuff like that for appreciation or for Christmas time and stuff like that. The rapper Suge, he was very generous, but for some reason he always get a negative rap. But all his artists and stuff was driving around in nice cars and had nice houses and stuff like that. Nate Dogg never put out an album on Death Row Records, but he had a driving a SC400, which was a big Lexus car at the time. So, artists was always taking care of the Lady of Rage. She was always taking good care of us. He only had one song that blew up with Afro Puff prior to Suge being incarcerated, which her album later came out, but by then the buzz on it was dead.
And a lot of people don't know, and maybe you can break this down if you can, is that even for like the Mother's Day event, like the one in '96, you guys got hundreds of miniature gold medallions made and given to all the mothers. Can you tell people a little bit about that and the event itself that you remember?
Yeah. The event was where Suge had a bunch of mothers, single mothers, as well as his goal was, but mothers that didn't really have anywhere to go. I was pretty much at home with the kids, and he just wanted a day where they can go and be pampered and treated and had a nice time where they wouldn't be so mad with the kids. Come out with the kids, bring the kids, have a good dinner in Beverly Hills Hotel. They had performances from, I remember shit, people don't even know, Keisha Cole came and performed there when she was like 13 years old. When he had Hammer come. He had Ashanti come and perform when she was hot. I mean, he had all his artists. Tupac performed Dear Mama with his mother at the Mother's Day event. Dre, I don't recall Dre doing any performance there, but Miss Chalet, Snoop, everyone did it. And that was something that he did to pay me have mothers. His whole thing was, I don't want mothers to be at home mad at their kids on that day, so they didn't have anything to do or didn't get anything. For the mothers that didn't have anything, didn't have anywhere to go, he wanted to come and have them show them a good time, and like I said, give them a gift. Which one year the gift was a gold medallion chain, 14-karat gold chain that he had made up and stuff like that.
Okay. If somebody were to ask you what your personal favorite memory of something that happened, it could be something totally minute, or it could be something that everybody knows about, but your favorite Tupac memory, something that comes to your mind when you think of him, what would be your favorite?
Well, Pac was very, very smart, as you can tell by his writings. But what I did remember and what I know about him, where he took something that he learned, and his mother later told me that when I explained it to what he did there, that was a Black Panther strategy that he employed. He used to always tell us, don't go and try to have a whole area secured or say we're going to take over or we're going to do this. You go into a community, if you go in Detroit and you're going to do a concert there, go in that area and deal with the brothers that's in Detroit that day and find out who their leaders and who their problems are and get with them and do stuff for them in their community and help them and see what their problems is, what their issues are, and go and help such areas that don't try to just take and do something for the whole nation. We can't do it. Just wherever you're dealing with at that time, go in there and try to help clean that area, make that area that you at that particular time safe, or help that area out, because you can't take care of this whole nation, but you can go and take care of the community and the community at a time. And that's what I learned from him, about how you don't try to just take care of everything at once. You just go and try to do a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And that's what he was big on.
A lot of people, they always talk about his work rate at the studio and all that, how he had all these songs and did all this. Do you think he did it because he had a lot to get out, or do you think part of it was that he had so many projects he was working on, whether it be soundtracks or compilation ideas like the One Nation thing that never ended up happening, or could it have been that he was having stuff ready to go in case, like you mentioned earlier, he did end up having to go back to prison?
It was a combination of everything. Number one, he had people that would believe in him that can do it. Most artists know that to have unlimited access to studio time is hard. It's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had that, though. He had a whole studio that's locked down where he could come in at any time. That Studio B at Can-Am was locked down for him, where we started just leasing out other studios for the other artists to work at. So, number one, when you have unlimited funds or to go do things, that makes you work. It make you, want to go to work. You get up in the middle of the night and something on your brain, you get up and go to work because you know you're going to be there. There's 24-hour security there. There's 24-hour engineer there. Studio's open. The second thing is, it was a possibility. He knew it was a possibility. He may be going back to jail, and he still had a tail on his time. And so that had a lot to play with it as well. And then thirdly, I didn't think it was in him. He already was a worker. He already was a hard worker. And so I think that had a lot to do with it. And then fourthly, I'm sure when he was incarcerated, all he thought about was getting out and working. And so I remember the night when he came home from jail, and he got off the plane and came to the studio, and he got so drunk and stuff, and he wanted to work that night. But the only thing that stopped him from working is he had a bad seizure, where he passed out and, had a pretty bad seizure. And we had to just get him to the hotel and rest. But he was there that next morning ready to work.
Was it something serious to where he was going to go to the hospital, or you think it was just exhaustion and all that?
Excitement, and I think the smoking and the drinking that had been in the system for a while.
The Johnny J situation. I mean, everybody knows, he produced a lot of the Tupac stuff and all that, but it seems like I want to say maybe the summer of '96, after All Eyes on Me was far well and done and everything, it seemed like Tupac started shifting towards other producers that were in-house at Death Row, like the Hurt 'em Bads or, other people like that. Do you know if there was any sort of falling out between him and Johnny J, or if Johnny J just felt like he wasn't getting what he felt he was entitled to, or if there was any sort of reasoning behind the working relationship between them slowing down?
What the situation with Johnny J was? Johnny J was what we call a beat maker. He was not a producer. He did beats just so Pac can put them down on tape and lyrics and stuff like that. He was going back to clean up most of that music. Most of that music, unfortunately, that came out that y'all heard was studio garbage. That was stuff that wasn't really meant to be put out, or Pac had any intentions on put out. They were seconds or thirds, Our companies have a whole bunch of stuff and they sell it to you cheaper. Well, that's what a lot of that music was. Johnny J, no disrespect to him, but he was Pac beat maker, where that's why most of the stuff came out on samples and stuff like that. He was just there to lay something down, Pac could have something, and then he was going to come back and touch it up or put it on some different type of tracks.
Okay.
That's what that was all about.
Right. Okay, and that makes sense because a lot of the rough mixes for All Eyes on Me, whether it was produced by Gaz or by Johnny J, sounded one way once it was laid down, but then when DJ Quik went in and mixed down the majority of the songs, they came out so much more polished and so much more refined. So, do you think that, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but do you think DJ Quik's, if in fact that is true, that he did do the majority of the mixes on that album, do you think that played a major part in really polishing those songs for release?
Well, Quik was a great mixer. Dre was a better one, but at the time he was doing his pull away, and there's some internal beef going on with, I think, Pac and Dre and Suge at the time. But I think it was mainly because of Dre pull away, and then he was also on probation at the time, so he used to have to be home and be at the house by a certain time. But so that's what had a lot of the politics. That's what was going on there. But to be honest, like I said, a lot of the stuff was just seconds stuff that wasn't intended to be ever put out.
Right. Basically, when all those songs started flooding the streets, kind of pretty much, it was like an overnight thing where, 3, 4, 5 CDs of stuff came out. What was, because you were pretty much head up at the label. This isn't in any way saying that you're responsible, but the point I'm trying to make is, what was the internal reaction to finding out that basically, 60 of this guy's songs are at the swap meet right now for anybody to buy,
I mean, we was very disappointed. I mean, C Murder rapped a verse, a song, lyric to lyric, didn't change one lyric, and put it out on a Master P album at the time that got leaked. I mean, I can't think of the song, but I know the realist Javon Jones could tell you the song. I mean, where we have it, where Pac did it, and he rapped the whole song to the same. He didn't change a word. So stuff like that did bother us. I mean, we had no intentions on ever putting it out because we knew that was gold, money that can always be put out. So it would be stupid for us to put it out. So we had probably some internal or something that some producers or some engineers or something that got a hold to them, got a hold to the material and put it out. I really believe it was somebody that worked inside Pacific Archives that leaked them. Because I don't believe it was anybody on our side of the camp because the security always had it locked down and you didn't pretty much get that much. You may have got 1 or 2 songs out. I'm not saying security is perfect, but you ain't going to get that many songs out. But when we had all the songs and the music was supposed to have been at our archive, a place called Pacific Archives, where we paid a lot of money. It's like a big old storage unit where all the movies and CDs and all the big companies put stuff at. But I really believe somebody that worked internal there is the one that leaked the music out.